one of the first films I ever saw in the States in 1991 was Wizard of Oz. It was probably the first movie as a kid that I truly gravitated towards and loved so much so that my parents, in the process of me learning English, decided to get me to Return to Oz, that book, as my very first book to read in English, as like the first real book. Not as a picture book, but like a real book. So I do have a weird connection to the original Wizard of Oz, including the original books. That's the first book.
I mean, before I read, my association with the movie is probably like everyone in this room's association with the movie. You see it over and over again when you're a kid, and so to think that for this moment in time, your life is intersecting with, you get to walk in the footsteps of this very beloved character, it feels like a real honor, and then to get to know the world and the language and the characters more deeply after you read the books. There's a lot in the books that are used in this movie, but there's also, screenwriter's imagination at work. But I did do some very carefully in the highlighting and underlining things about, Glinda in terms of phrases that she might use or how she'd wear her hair. So I found it very useful.
Neil.
Hi, I'm a huge fan of your history. Me and all of yours. You guys are all really awesome. I want to know how you got your mind around the Oz Great and Powerful, since it's quite a bit of a departure from the films that you normally do. Yes, I'm sorry.
Because, what do you mean?
It's like, for me, when I think of you, I think of Spider. For me, it's Spider-Man. That's what I think of. And so it doesn't look to me that it's going to be like Spider-Man. It's like it's just totally different from any other films I've seen you do.
You're right. It's absolutely different than anything I've ever done before. I had never made a family picture. I guess you can call it Spider-Man family pictures. But basically, those are action love stories. And this was just a completely different, otherworldly experience for me. I never tried it before. I didn't know if I could do it. But I so loved the screenplay. I was so moved by it at so many different points. And I really enjoyed the goal of telling an uplifting story. And what's uplifting about it is the character learning to be a better person. So those things seemed right to me. It felt like a great challenge. I was excited by it. I wanted to see the movie. And more than anything, I think that's what gives you the strength to think you can direct a movie. If you want to see it and you can understand the characters, then I think that's what it is for me, and that's how it was for me doing this. If you understand the characters, and I didn't understand them all completely, it's a learning process for the actors on set. But nevertheless, when you read the script, you think you have an understanding of it, and then you know how to direct it. That's all it is really, is you know the characters, you can direct yourself. That's what gives you strength, and that's what told me I like to direct this picture.
And on the left here.
Hi, so I have a question for Sam. When James Franco was promoting Rise of Behind the Apes, I asked him how he felt he's changed as an actor now that he's gone to film school. And he said that he really loved that and really appreciation for visual effects, etc. Can you talk a little bit about how you think he's evolved as an actor since last time you worked with him, he wasn't doing, he wasn't the director per se, and how you think that what he brings to the table for this character may have been affected by the fact that he is a filmmaker now?
Yes, he's a great collaborator, like these two ladies are. I don't think they're filmmakers. Maybe you guys are, I don't know. Are you filmmakers?
Oh.
Well, for me, James was very much less collaborative when I first started with him. He was a real serious actor. I think he still had his James Dean hat on, and he was doing it his way. And so yeah, I worked with him with certain limitations because we couldn't communicate like me as deeply as we eventually did on this picture. So I think James, and I don't know if that's just a result of James's growth as an individual, or whether a director just has a much deeper relationship with their leading man or leading ladies than they do with the best friend character who he played. But either way, what I detected was a great growing sense of openness, collaboration, and patience. Patience, that's what a filmmaker, Joe said, has to have in buckets of patience. And now that James is a filmmaker, he understands all the things that go into the shot, and I think he's developed that patience.
20